Welcome to the forest, Nima.
Yeah, lovely forest of Germany.
I heard you saying earlier that moksha is it a process or is it a final event that comes to a stop once
Ye-
reached?
Yes, in fact, moksha is a growing clarity in the sense that the first time you hear Vedanta, where Vedanta shows you your Brahman, it's not that you don't understand anything, but you get a very faint idea of what Vedanta is saying. Suppose you yourself listen to the classes after 1 year or after 2 years, you see very clearly that your mind is able to reach the meaning much more. What seemed very vague and very far away and very abstract seems like a reality. So, this whole process is called growing clarity. And growing clarity is very much required. So, Vedanta talks about two means of knowledge. The primary means is Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana, listening to Shastra, removing doubts, and contemplating on the truth. And the secondary means is all the practices and all the lifestyle changes that you make, bringing dharma, bringing karma yoga, bringing meditation practices, taking care of your raga dvesha. All of these are secondary means to prepare the mind so that the mind can reach the knowledge that Shastra is conveying. So we engage in both, and there is a growing clarity, and that can go on for several years, or sometimes, according to the Shastra, several lifetimes. And at one point, what we call there is a click in the sense of akhandakara vritti. And when that thought, that vritti takes place, it's a click. And a click means that the ignorance is completely gone, and that ignorance going is function of two things. One is your own effort of engaging with primary means and secondary means, and the other is Ishvara removing the avarana for you so that you can see the final truth. And it's a combination of both, and you never know, you can't control when it will take place. But once that avarana is gone for you, lifted for you, then from then on it's considered that you're a gnani, and a person who knows the truth. Then you can't go back to ignorance. So until then it's growing clarity, but at some point it becomes completely clear. So this is how Shastra describe it.
Is it similar to doubt free knowledge or is it more than just doubt free
So,
knowledge?
I think there is a difference between the mind actually listening to knowledge and trying to figure out and raising doubts and resolving doubts. These are all just mental activity. But in this knowledge, you need to understand that I am Brahman. It is not just the mind trying to figure out, because your I am has to shift from being an individual to being Brahman. Brahman, which is the truth of everything, truth of every object, truth of time, truth of space. So it's not just mind working out. This is why, as I said, there is some part, which is Ishvara's part, which is like removing ignorance. Just this is also true in normal knowledge. It's nothing special about Vedanta. For example, the morning that Einstein got up, he perhaps did not know that this today I'm going to discover E is equal to mc square. But he had engaged with science for a very long time, and he had dedicated his life, understanding the truth. And at one point, there was a click, and what that particular reality was revealed to him. And from then on, that with reference to that particular reality, there was no longer a doubt. So this is true in any knowledge. It's not only with reference to Vedanta. Initially, it's growing clarity, and at one point, there is a click.
Hmm. Hmm. And the click is that the world is not anymore a world for you.
Yeah, exactly. So the click is your I am is shifted from this individual to that truth, which is the universal truth, which is that unchanging reality which sustains everything, which is free from time, free from space, and also free from any object, but sustains everything. So your I am has to shift. It's not like an individual using the mind, just as you try to understand astrophysics or mathematics, retaining yourself, understand something abstract. It's not like that. The knower has to dissolve and into this limitless consciousness. So it's not just the activity of mind. That's why I said, yes, the mind has to reach the words of Shastra, but also Ishvara has to lift the veil, like in any other knowledge.
Hmm. Is it then an experiential difference to a normal way of life?
So experiential means the experiences remain exactly as before, but you can never mistake the reality. For example, we all see the sunrise and sunset, but you go to school and they teach you that the sun is stationary and it's Earth which moves. That is understood. That doesn't mean your perception changes, right? It's not like you stop seeing the sunrise and sunset, but it no longer fools you. You
Mm.
don't start taking sunrise as real and sunset as real. You understand it as an appearance, but the knowledge that sun is stationary vis-a-vis the earth never gets shaken.
Hmm. Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, John.